Okay, hi. We're going to be doing lead code 206 reverse linked list. So you're given the head of a singly linked list and you're supposed to reverse the list and return the reverse list. The way I'm going to do this, let me first draw the solution for this. It will take O(n) time. And we need two pointers, I'll call them traversal pointers, right? So the first one is called previous, which we'll set to none. Why? Because we have our node like this, right? Let me clean this up a bit. We have our node like this, and let's say this is 1, 2, and 3, right? So at the end of the array, we want, at the end of reversing, we want this pointing to none, right? So we set our previous to point to none, and then we set our traversal pointer. Let's just call this the previous pointer. Our traversal pointer is equal to head. In other words, current will be here, right? So the way we do this is while we're going to iterate as long as current is not equal to none, right? Because what we want is this current to iterate through, until it reaches this point, and then what we return is the previous pointer, right? So the way you do it, whenever you're traversing, you have a temporary pointer which helps to do the swap of this whatever to take it this side of the next pointer, right? So the way we do this is the previous pointer, you have a temporary pointer that you initialize and you instantiate and initialize. And this temporary pointer, you could either initialize it to be at current in order to keep control of the current node we're at, or you could initialize it to take hold of the pointer ahead, right? I prefer to have the temp pointer hold this position, and then we move our current pointer forward, and then the temp pointer works with the previous pointer to convert to turn this around, right? So what happens is once the current moves forward, the temp pointer, we set it to the previous pointer, right? So if our previous was here and it was none, right? We use the temp pointer to set it to none, and then we set our previous pointer to the temp pointer, right? And then at the end of that loop, at the end of that that iteration, this disappears because it was a temporary pointer. So now we're back at this position. Although we have a gap here, we still have control of the previous pointer. So what we do again, we initialize the temp pointer at this position, and then we move our current forward. And then we set our temp.next to the previous. And then we move our previous to where temp is. Hold up, wait a minute. Yeah, let me grab that. Our previous comes here, right? And then at the end of this iteration, the temp disappears. Then again, we initialize another temp to keep hold of this. And then our current pointer comes to none, right? And then our temp, we set our temps next to previous. And then we move our previous to temp. So now the loop terminates because of this. Current is now none, and this at that iteration goes away, so we simply return previous. So that's the solution. And this takes O of n time. So let's do it in the code. Right? So we initialize a previous pointer to none, and then a current pointer to the head. And then while current, this is the same as current does not equal to none, we create a temp pointer to hold our current node. So temp is equal to current, and then we move our current forward. Since we have control of present node. So current is equal to current.next. Then we reverse by setting temp's next pointer to previous, right? So temp.next is equal to previous. Then we move the previous forward to present node by setting it to temp. So previous is equal to temp, right? And we're done. So at the end of the iteration, temp will disappear, but previous controls keeps the node. So here, loop terminates when current is equal to none. And so we return previous. And previous is at last node, i.e. the new beginning node. In the beginning. So this is O of n time. Voila. So that is the solution. It takes O of n time, and simply because it has to go through every node, twisting it back. So that is the solution. Thank you and bye.